Hello my friends and welcome back. Thank you very much for being with me again today. I don't know, I read this thing, I don't know, maybe 20 years ago. I would say more than that, but anyway, it said like this. The worst form of refusal is perpetual delay. So if you ask someone for something and that person doesn't want to give you that, but instead it just delays the I will, probably, next week maybe, maybe next month, instead of saying, you know what, no. But I can't remember who wrote that, doesn't matter. I think it's very interesting and I think it's ugly. In this case we have Israel, who doesn't want to provide Ukraine with air defense systems. But instead of saying no, they've been saying this for about, I don't know, a few months already, when the kosher team in Ukraine started pressuring their kosher brothers in Israel. Hey, well, how about you? Well, it's too obvious, man. We can't do this. And instead, and on top of that, we have Russia, and we really don't want to, shoot ourselves in the feet like Europe did. And the Israelis, the Jews, are very smart. I give them that 100%. Very cunning. That's the word. Now, let's see what's going on here. This article comes from the Jerusalem Post, and it's from today, November 9th, 2022. Gantz says, Israel doesn't have production capacity to supply air defense systems to Ukraine. Did you hear that? So he says that Israel doesn't have the production capacity to supply air defense systems to Ukraine. Man, isn't that smart? Yeah, we can't produce, man. You're too. We can't somehow. So Israel has sent Ukraine humanitarian aid as well as medical equipment, but refuses to send over any weaponry that can be deemed as lethal weaponry. They provide intelligence to the Ukrainians, you know what I mean? And that's very important, very important. Israel does not have the production capabilities to supply Ukraine with air defense systems. Outgoing Defense Minister Benny Gantz said Tuesday. It is, and I'm quoting, it is clear that even if it decided that we change our policy, it is impossible to empty our supply of air defense systems, end quote, Gantz told reporters, and I'm quoting again. We are checking every day what can be done and how we can expand our aid. But we must not forget that NATO stands behind Ukraine. Did you hear that? NATO? I thought it's Ukraine versus Russia. And it's not NATO, it's United States. NATO or the other ones are just weasels. Yes, sir. Israel's air defense systems, including the Iron Dome and Arrow systems, are jointly produced with the United States. Last year, Washington passed a $1 billion US dollars funding bill to replace the Tamir missile interceptors used in Iron Dome batteries after they were used to intercept the over 4,300 missiles fired by Hamas and Palestinian Islamic Jihad during Operation Guardian of the Walls in May 2021. Operation Guardian of the Walls. Oh man, these guys are still there. These guys are still there, man. Like 3,000 years, that's where they are, with the walls and trumpets and anyway. That's their right, their culture. They do whatever they want, man. I don't care. Don't make me like it or, follow it by force or any coercive measures to make me do it. Gantz made the comments as Kiev continues to push Jerusalem. Oh, Jerusalem, so it's not Tel Aviv. Yeah, very important. The Jerusalem Post continues to push Jerusalem to supply weaponry to the country, which is being battered by Russian missile strikes and attacks by Iranian-made drones supplied to Moscow. See how many things in with the last paragraph? We find out that actually it's Jerusalem, not Tel Aviv, and then we find out that the Russians are striking Ukraine, which is a fact, with Iranian-made drones supplied to Moscow. So they are participants in the war. I mean, yeah, they can say that. That's their. They can say whatever they want. You know what I mean? And they can. They have a lot of intelligence because Mossad is very, very, very well connected. I wonder why. Yeah, because they have a lot of Romanians all over the world. I'm not implying anything that the Romanians are, because they live in other countries, they would be automatically, you know, supporting Romania. And I don't think so. Okay, I just I don't know. It was a joke. Anyway, did you hear? They cannot. They're incapable, unable to produce for Ukraine. Why don't you say, no, man, we're not going to give it to you? But remember, this guy is the outgoing prime minister. Bibi Netanyahu is landing again, which I don't know what that would mean. But in any case, usually the outgoing administrations, you know, just pass some little orders or mandates, or however you want to call them, in the last day, because they say, well, we're leaving, so you clean the mess. But maybe, you know, not maybe, certainly they are smarter than that, and it doesn't mean that they are not human in you know, like all of us feeling the same way. Well, they are human as much as we are, so they know exactly what to do. So, but they look at their interest, and I like that. And I always admire when you have a country, a group, an entity looking for its own interest first. Because if you don't look for your own interest first, then you can't help anybody else, because you die. Remember that analogy with when you go and you fly. You go on an airplane, and you know, that's the little stewardess, or however you want to call her. I'm not gonna play their little vocabulary. I'm not their monkey. So the stewardess comes and tells, hey, this, and if you do this, you do this, okay? And then they say, well, if the cabin depressurizes, then they're gonna fall here the oxygen masks. And what do you do first? They show you how to do it, and blah 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 blah. And you look at other stuff when they do this, and then she says that, or he says, all right, usually she, but says that the first thing you do, you put the mask over your face, and then you turn around and you help children or who other people that might need help or assistance with that. Why? Because if you start helping someone else and you're like, yeah, you fucked up, that's gonna be fucked up. So this way, no, you do it, you're not fucked up, and you help this guy, and you're smacking around a little bit, and then put the mask on. So the same with the Israelis. Yeah, I'm glad they look for their interests, and they're very smart and cunning, and they know they don't want to upset Russia too much, and they don't want to be really pointed at, like, hey guys, you are helping the kosher team in Kiev. That's not right. Are you part of it? So they want to be as far as possible and work underneath the, you know, here and all that. Thank you very much for being with me again today. Stay strong, stay smart, look for the truth, and be just.